So our final speaker of the evening is Etienne from Symba.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'm just going to do some check quicks and I need your help. Who doesn't speak French? Can you raise your hand? Okay, so that's English. Who is a technical guy or woman doing some coding? Okay. Who didn't know about Bitcoin before coming here tonight? Okay. And who's working in finance? Okay, thank you. So I know where I shouldn't go and where I might try to go. It's a bit special for me tonight to speak about NewFinance through technology because I'm not really on the technical part. I did some medicine studies, I failed, and then a business school. I succeed somehow, and now when I try to explain to my mom what I'm doing, I'm say, I'm healing the economy. So, trying. Virtual currency is the subject tonight. Virtual currency, we are here at the stock, the old stock, and everything has become virtual. So I think virtual currency is not only the currency we are trying to put but into the market or in circulation, but also the euro has become virtual. And when we speak about currency, we have to ask ourselves, what is currency? And a currency is just an accounting system, an agreement. We agree to use together a system. It can be a payment system, but when it's a currency, it's a design. It's a tool. It's something that we are going then to code and to put into the machine. That's not my job, so I'm not going to speak about it. But before that, we have to think, what is this tool going to be for? What is it for? And I started to study the subprime crisis in 2007. And currencies was, for me, a solution to achieve the monetary creation, sovereign monetary creation, because we have lost that power. And it's in the hand of the private sector at the moment. And so Symba is a lion, because the lion is about sovereignty. Is how do we get back to have, it's a political project. How do we have the sovereignty about money creation? It's also a political project because it's about education. We have to relearn what is money and not be a slave of money. So Symba is a project that we started 2 years ago. It's a regional currency, so we answered to a call for project from the region, Île-de-France, sorry. And it's a cooperative. So it might be bizarre to speak about cooperative in finance, but it is. So it's a société coopérative d'intérêt collectif. So it's a collective interest cooperative with limited interest rate. And in fact, it's more than money. We are not here for the money. We are here for the way to create it and the education on the way. And we started with B2B. That's what we told to the region, because we think a lot of SMEs and NGOs in the region, they are creating a lot of positive externalities, like social externalities, environmental positive value, but they don't get finance. They don't have money. And it's not just a few of them, it's a lot of them. Because we don't give loans for things that are not profitable. And it's easy, every banker knows that, but it's sad. It's sad because there's a lot of value, environmental or social value. And so we decided we have to first help these little small and medium enterprise companies and NGOs. And there's a study that has been done a few years ago, and they said 76% of the companies, they don't know about what is B2B exchanges, and credit clearing system is another word for it, but 65% would be interested in it. So there's a lot of work of education and sensibilization to do. Well, today there are already 700 platforms in the world, so it's not new. It does already exist, and one of the oldest currencies is the VIR. Who knows the VIR? Okay, so the VIR, W-I-R, VIR, like wir sind in German, it means we, and it was born in 1933 in Switzerland. 1933 is this nice moment of Great Depression where nobody has money, and we still have the companies, we still have the workers, we still have the economy, but not the paper to buy it or to sell it. So a group of companies, they began to do a local exchange trade system between companies, and they called it VIR for we, and later on they built a cooperative. Now 60,000 companies within the networks, So 20% of the Swiss company are part of this network, and it's almost 2 billion Swiss francs of volume. So it's exchanges between companies within a network of trust. Keynes spoke about it as a credit clearing system. And it's also, the city of Nantes is launching one at the moment. They are registering for companies to start using it in Nantes. Concretely how it works, this is all in French, but it's a zero-sum game. So we all start with zero, and if I need something, I want to buy something to you, you're going to say the price. We can pay half in euro, half in Symba, or we decide of the amount. And then if it's, I don't know, something we pay 10,000 euro, we're going to say 5,000 euro, 5,000 Symba. 1 euro is 1 Symba. It's not convertible, but it's the same unit. And I'm going to send you 5,000 euro, I know how to do that. I'm going to send you 5,000 Symba, and I'm going to be at minus 5,000 Symba. And you're going to be at plus 5,000 Symba. So there's no money creation. It's just a writing game where there are people in positive, people in negative. And you're not rich because you're in positive, and you're not poor because you're in negative. You're just in debt or in advance or late towards the system and towards the network. So it's a community of trust, and we agree together to do this writing system and to say we can lend to each other credits without interest. So there's not positive interest, it's just figures that we say it represents value. So we need a technology at some point because it's a platform on internet. We can use credit cards there. We can use a lot of different devices. We haven't chosen at the moment because it's not our priority. Also, Symba is for symbiotic economy, and I'm working with somebody that is an ecologist and has been for 20 years. She co-wrote the movie Home from Yann Arthus Bertrand, and she's speaking about the symbiotic economy to identify all these small and medium enterprise companies that have positive externalities. So we are not open to everybody and big companies. We have to select this network carefully of people that have positive impact. So to sum it up, it's a network of trust in the region, so it's a local currency, it's limited to the region. Then the more I speak about currency, the more I discover that it's not about currency, but it's open source economy. That I'm mapping and remapping the economy. What are the people that are selling what are the people that are buying what, and I'm getting into more and more transparency and consciousness of what are the links and the connection within this economy in the region. So it's a network of virtuous actors. It can be company, NGOs, local authorities. They have goods and services to sell, to offer, to buy. So because we have a marketplace, it's a new system that enables them to have a global vision within the community. You all know Airbnb and Uber and BlaBlaCar. I'm not going to say it's the Airbnb for currency, but it's a way for, it's a marketplace for companies to trade together. Of course, you have a lot of community trade advisors, that these are people that are in the community and they are like, look, you are at minus 10,000 and you haven't done any trade for 3 months, you're inactive, how can I help you? What do you sell? Probably there are things that you sell and I can connect you with other people. So my goal is to help you do some trades. And if you're in positive and you haven't been trading for a few times or some time, I'm going to come to you and say the same, like, what can you buy, what do you need? I can connect you with a few people. And finally, it's credit without interest. And the currency is just coming here. But the whole thing makes the currency the tools that we use to make better exchanges and trades together. We are not the only one. We didn't invent anything. There are some guys in Sardex that are developing a system that is working really well. They have 1,400 companies, started 4 years ago, and they are replicating to 4 or 5 different models in Italy. You know that Italy has a lot of problems with unemployment at the moment, and the economy is really down. So the people from the island, the local authorities, they came to see them and they said, like, you found a solution against unemployment and the economy, how can we learn from you? Eurocats in Catalonia, they are doing another system. Grand Genève is also organizing one. They started on the Genevian Swiss side, and now they're expanding and they want to do it also on the border with the French part, which is more complicated. TradeCoin just started something in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. The city of Lambeth is starting one in London. And Sonant is almost starting this year, and it's been put at the agenda of the city in 2006. And it was Jean-Marc Ayrault that started the project. And we are running the project. The project isn't out at all. For Symba, we have today 86 shareholders that are mostly citizens, that are people that are asking themselves these questions, that are creating the network of trust really slowly. Like it's really a network of trust, so we are not aiming to go full speed. We are taking our time and enjoying it. We also have some contacts now with local authorities, and one town hall in the Yvelines, Les Yvelines, said they want to join us. So that's really interesting also for us to quit the boundaries and rethink economy and say, okay, we, the citizens, the local companies and NGOs, and also the local authorities, we all should have that sovereignty of deciding what has value and what hasn't. So this is where we are at the moment. It's a big project. We learn a lot, I learned a lot, and it's not over. So if you want to join in the next meeting, or if you want to take some role and work with us, welcome, and thank you.
Okay, questions for Etienne?
Thank you very much. I would just have one question about tax. Mostly on B2B system, I run a little company myself. I have to collect VAT and I have to give it to the state. So how do you include the tax into your system?
It's interesting. I've been speaking about currency for 5 years, and currency is power. And when we speak about currency and power, the first question is fear. Is what do we do about the tax? So if it's illegal, it's exciting, but it's dangerous. If it's legal, it's boring, but it's safe. The answer for us is we declare. It's do you say declare in English? So you'd say, I have to pay you 10,000 for a transaction. I pay 10,000 euros, and I pay 5,000 euros and 5,000 Symba. So Symba is just the payment, like pesos or yen, or it's a different currency. But what I have to declare is 10,000. And you write a line, Réseau Symba, count 5xxx in your accountability. And that's okay. That's what is happening in Sardex, in VIR, in RES, in all the existing system already. So it's safe and boring. We are inside the system regarding this question. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi. How do you make people pay back their debt?
We don't.
Okay. So if I decide to run with a lot of debts in Symba or whatever,
well, we can sue you.
No mechanism to protect other people in the network?
We have a cooperative. So you have a contract with a cooperative. If you leave the system with minus 50,000, we can sue you. But if you come for this reason, probably you're going to lose your time because you're going to leave with minus 50,000. I don't know. Maybe you didn't understand the project.
No,
so
I don't know. No, maybe not. But I don't know.
We can sue you. We can sue you, like if you don't pay something, and
if I don't reimburse like 5,000 euros, will you sue me, or will you sue people that will try to cheat the system or stuff like that?
Well, I think there's already enough systems that you can cheat, and we're trying something else. Mm-hmm. So you're free to leave and not pay if you want to hack it. But then you will lose.
Myself personally, but
okay.
You may
would
run into the problem at one time. You know.
Yeah, it's a risk. We're trying to play on trust, and it's not based on technology and knowing that I can make exchanges using technology because I don't know the people and I don't need to know the people. We're trying to remake the economy and think like, we need each other. And if I'm using you, then I'm going to do it once and then I can't do it twice. And if I'm using you and you have friends, I can't use your friend again. So it's just about transparency, like put some people, and we know that this guy, he used everybody and he left the system. So I think it's possible, but that's something we have to decide together. Like, what do we do? Like, do we stone him, or do we say like he lost the idea, and that's not really what we thought about, and did he stole us something? I don't know.
And if in good faith someone goes bankrupt and have a lot of Symba, a lot of debt in Symba.
Well, from the city of Nantes, what they said about this, it happens 3% of the time. Like 3%, the problem that one of you would run out and go bankruptcy. In SMEs network that know each other, that are from the real economy, it's 3% of bankruptcy. So it's not really a big problem, it's minor. And we are afraid of it, and after the tax, it's a second question, like, I would go minus 50,000 and run out of the... But it's not really the problem. We are all afraid of this, but it couldn't happen. Then we have to deal with this together, because it's a cooperative. We have to decide about this agreement. And we can decide about a guarantee fund, where we all pay a bit or collect fees together, before the person go into bankruptcy, after the person go into bankruptcy. The thing is, if I give you all the details of how it will work, you're just thinking like with your head. You're doing the math,
Yeah,
and you're thinking,
it's money after all, you know. So
yeah, what is money?
Yeah.
Money is a collective convention to represent value. What are your values? So if you think with your head, you're going to do the math, like, is it good for me to join? Can I use the other people or not? Will I gain? Will I lose? And then it's a bet. Like, it's a bet. If you think like, okay, it's not perfect, but I have a voice in it and I can play with other people, we are putting our goal on collective intelligence, something that we haven't done so much in finance recently. Like, can we do if we go together and go in the open, can we build a system that can evolve and that can change, where the inequity wouldn't go like huge differences?
Okay, thanks.
My name is Samuel Cohen, and I run a bartering company. So it's basically what you're doing. So we have a startup, and we have a network with 200 companies right now, and we have a fairly high amount of trade. So I will add just a couple things. First, like compared to the previous subject about Bitcoin, I think like barter, and what described Etienne very good, is like kind of the antithesis of Bitcoin. It's the opposite of Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin is to pull out like a new currency, and everyone goes to this currency because he follows some interest, and it's independent from the state regulation, and it's a big freedom. What Etienne built and what we did too is a network with confidence. So you explained this very good, and but I would maybe get some more details about how do we regulate the tradings on the platform. What matters is like we are talking real economy here. So what matters is like the offers that are posted online, and are these offers really important to the other people from the network? For instance, if it's let's say a printing company, he proposed some printing. So we analyze if there is lots of requests on printing, and then we said, since the volume of sales expected are important, you can buy, like in our system, it's 2,500 barter, 6,000 barter negative, and 10,000 barter, because we know that you can reimburse by doing some sales on the network, which makes the whole like system balance, because it's also that's very different from Bitcoin. It's also like tied to the major law in economy, which is offers on demand. I don't know if it's very clear, but that prevents a lot of risk, you know, because you're talking about CEOs that own company and like really know where they're going. It's a long question, so sorry, but it goes with what Etienne explained about the confidence, I think.
Very quick, and after that will be it. Wikipedia was not supposed to work. We took a leap of faith, and it worked. So it could work too. Yeah, this is what I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Is there any reputation mechanism in the Symba network or not?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Because the platform doesn't exist yet. We plan to put some transparency. And then the reputation system is the visibility of the trade you had. And transparency itself is a reputation system. If you see, I would be proud to show my exchanges. If I bought something from you or from other people, I want to show it. And I want to say if it was a good transaction, and that's my reputation, saying I had an exchange with you and I liked it, or it was a good quality. So you can have some data about who didn't pay, who paid well, who paid quickly, how was the trades, and this kind of question.
Etienne, thank you very much. Thank you.